weekend to get up here and say, roll tide, baby. Roll tide. When you get into college coaching, it's a tough road. You know, it's so hard to get your first job. You move around like crazy. You live week to week. You work in baseball camps for peanuts. And when you're doing that, at times you question what you're doing. And you have these dreams to one day lead your own program and to coach in this league. And for that dream to come true for me today is just such a blessing. Thank you. There's so many people to thank, and I'll try to be brief, but first, Greg, President Bell, the Board of Trustees, Finest Gaston, everyone involved in the hiring process. I can't thank you enough for believing in me, giving me this opportunity, believing in my vision for the program. I have a recruiting background, and my biggest recruit by far is my wife, Kim. You can't do this job without marrying the right person, and anybody that works in college athletics knows the pace that we work at, the time and energy, the passion that we put into what we do, and I got that one right. Thank you. George Greer gave me my first coaching opportunity at Wake Forest in 2001, and he allowed me to attend the Wake Forest MBA program full time, and not only that, he let me coach, and I made so many mistakes, but that's the best way to learn, is to make mistakes. So I'm so thankful to Coach Greer for giving me my first job. I probably caught my biggest break in 2004 when John Cohen brought me on staff to Kentucky. He saw something in me at that point in time that I'm not sure that I saw in myself. We had a tremendous run there. John has progressed from a hard-driving boss that made me uncomfortable and pushed me to my limits, to a mentor and now a friend. And John, I love you and thank you for everything that you've done for me. I was with Gary Henderson for 12 years, and anybody that's involved in this league in any way, shape, or form, being in the SEC, those are like dog years. So 12 years is just an eternity. And Gary is one of the best baseball coaches in the game, and I think going forward you will see a larger Gary Henderson imprint in the way that I run the program and run practice than anybody I've been involved with. And I thank Gary for the opportunities and the influence he's had on me. The last 20 months I've been with Butch Thompson, and Butch is as fine of a man as there is in college athletics. And he's a brother. And probably the biggest thing I've taken from Butch is you can do this job and be a good person and love the kids. And, you know, deep down they want to be pushed, and you can do it and still love them. And I thank Butch for the opportunity to operate, and I thank him for being such a close friend. There's two pro scouts among many that are great friends, but Sean Gibbs and Tim O'Neill are two of my best friends and have just had a tremendous impact on the way that I evaluate players. And I would not have had the recruiting success that I've had without their guidance and the knowledge I've taken from them over the years. And really, most of all, I'm just so thankful to all of my former players. I mean, everybody that I've ever recruited and coached. You know, in the 14 years I've been in the league, I have not gotten a hit, I have not made a pitch. You know, it's really all about the kids. They're the ones making the plays, and I'm just thankful to each and every one of them for buying into me and what I was selling at the time, and for giving me everything they had while playing for me. I really think that anything can be achieved here at the University of Alabama. My goal going forward is to make Alabama the absolute best place to play college baseball in the country, and we have everything we need in place to make that happen. We're going to do that by being a players first program. Everything that we do as a coaching staff is going to be about making sure that our kids get their college degree, about helping them to grow as men and hopefully one day be great husbands and fathers, and also to help them become the best version of themselves as a baseball player. I can't wait to start recruiting. I can't wait to get kids on campus this week and show them our great place. And I can't wait to look them in the eye and look the parents in the eye and say, hey, if you come to Alabama, you can win an SEC championship because that's been done 14 times before. You can be a first-team All-American because we've had 15 of those. We can go to the College World Series because it's been done 5 times. You can be a first-round draft pick. It's all been done here before. I mean, this is a program that has won 2,500 games. And that's just unbelievable. And a big part of that, or because of the great coaches that have been here before, Joe Sewell, Barry Schellenberger, Jim Wells, and Mitch Gaspard and staff have done a great job of creating tradition that needs to be a competitive advantage for us going forward. I've coached in this league for 14 years, and you can't survive in this league, much less thrive, if you have a lot of shortcomings. You're really forced to figure things out. I finished first in the league and I finished last, and I'm very clear on the difference, and it all starts on the mound. Early on, we're going to coach to our personnel. I think it's important initially for me and my coaching staff to adjust to our players. Over time, we're going to strive to be balanced. I love 3-run home runs, but you also need to be able to score at times without getting a hit, because it's tough to string together 5 hits on a Friday night in our league when you're facing a future big leaguer. We have an extremely impressive list of alumni, and I'm so excited to get to know all of them that I can. Not only are you going to be welcome here, but we want you here. And again, we have a tremendous alumni base, and we want you all to be involved, and we want that to be a competitive advantage for us. Having recruited the area heavily for the last 20 months, I've developed so many strong relationships. There's just an outstanding group of high school, junior college, and travel baseball coaches in the area. Guys, you're going to be hearing from us often. And we're going to recruit from the inside out. I would love to have a team full of Alabama kids. I would love that. But you know what? We have a national brand. We have an amazing place, and we can get kids from anywhere, and we'll do that. And there's a lot of work to be done. We all know that. And there's no shortcuts. I don't have any magic dust. But I can't wait to roll my sleeves up and get to work. Again, thank you. I owe everyone involved just a tremendous amount of gratitude for providing me this opportunity. It's not something that I take lightly. And roll Tide. But I'd love to open it up for questions.
Go ahead, raise your hand and I'll call on you. You need a mic. Aaron first.
We know you might have been busy this weekend. Was there, did you think about staying with the team and postponing this press conference?
Well, I am going to get back tonight for the game. So, you know, when you coach, the things that we do together, the relationships that you build are stronger than any jersey that you wear. Rest assured going forward that there will be no doubt where my loyalty lies. But when I get back to Tallahassee tonight, I'm going to give that team everything I have to win that ball game.
Brad, as far as the staff goes, have you made any decisions of who will be on your staff? And is it important for you to get somebody that has head coaching experience in the SEC on your staff?
You know, the last 72 hours, it has been amazing at the outpouring of support from the Alabama fan base, the talent pool of the coaches that have reached out. I think it's really important to get coaches that are really good at recruiting and really good at coaching. And at Alabama, you can get guys that are really good at both. I'll jump more into the staff stuff this next week and a half, and I can just assure you that we'll put together an all-star coaching staff.
What was the timeline for when you were able to leave Tallahassee last night, get here, and what's the plan time-wise to get to leave here and get back?
It's all been such a blur. We got off the field last night after midnight. I don't know what time I got here. It was late. And you know, I haven't seen Kim in like 2 weeks, so it's not like I just walked in and went to sleep. We had so much to catch up on, and I was really excited. So it was a quick turnaround, and you know, we're gonna knock some stuff out today, and then you know, I'll get back down there. But yeah, I'm short on sleep, but not short on adrenaline.
Greg was talking about, you know, your first career was obviously in intel and finance. I guess your decision to decide to go into baseball, what was behind that, and why was it important to take that step? I think you weren't even making much as an intern with or a volunteer assistant with Cohen, right?
Yeah, even though I'm book smart, my mom at that point in time was really questioning my decision making and mental capabilities. You know, I wanted to coach after I left Wake Forest, but it's just so competitive. You know, and you know, I grew up in a blue collar family, and I was had to support myself at that point in time, and I had student loans, and the math just wasn't working, you know, the student loans and the coaching opportunities that I could get at that point in time. So I kind of, you know, I did the corporate finance thing to kind of out of necessity, and I caught a huge break and connected with Gary Henderson, who got me connected with John. And you know, so it was never that I doubted coaching. It's just, you know, life doesn't always go the way you planned, and you just got to roll with it.
Going back to Cody.
Sorry. What did you learn from this Alabama team during that 3-game series and earlier in the season?
You know, that weekend, I thought the team really competed well for that particular weekend, and there's some good pieces. You know, when I was talking to the kids, you know, I think it felt like we played 70 innings in about a 36-hour period. So when you're dealing with college kids and then you're in this league, there's so many ups and downs, and it's all about when you catch teams. And, you know, if you see any team and see their best baseball, you have one opinion, and you catch them on a weekend where they play their worst, you have another. So, you know, there's some good pieces in place, and I thought the kids competed pretty well, and I'm excited to build on that.
Back to Chandler again.
Brad, if Auburn does win tonight, have you and Bush discussed what you'll do if they advance to a super regional?
Well, I'm going to get through tonight, and let me say this: Jay Jacobs, Butch Thompson, Greg Byrne, everybody involved has just been amazing. So we'll get through the game tonight, and we'll sit down and visit with all of that. But I'm not ready to make a decision or announcement on that.
Back to Chris.
The presentation that you made, I'm going to guess that you've been thinking about being a head coach for quite a while. Can you tell us a little bit about what was involved with that and what you wanted to emphasize?
Yeah, there was a lot, and I tried to touch on some of those in the speech that I gave, but at the core, it's all about recruiting at the highest level, because good players make good coaches. You also have to coach at the highest level, because everybody in the SEC can coach, and you have to have a tremendous team culture. And those are the 3 things that are going to be the basis of our program. And, you know, we want to be involved in the community, and we will be. We want to get our alumni involved. There's a lot that goes into having a successful championship level program, but at the core, we got to recruit, we got to coach, and we got to have a great team culture.
Back there.
You mentioned talking to Alan Dunn and specifically Jim Wells. Obviously, there's some challenges with the Alabama job. What did Jim say to you about approaching this job?
I really followed up with Coach Wells, you know, after I had the job, and we had a long conversation. We were just trying to get to know each other. You know, we overlapped in the league a little bit. And I'm glad you brought this up. I'm not going to talk about the challenges. I'm going to talk about what we have, and we have a lot. Okay, we have one of the best ballparks in the country. We have one of the best college experiences in the country. We get to take kids to Alabama football games. The SEC experience is second to none. So we have a lot to sell, and we're going to talk about what we do have and what we don't have.
Coach Bohannon, I just wanted to ask, I know your strength is recruiting and evaluating. You've got a lot of good players here today watching the press conference, and of course, a lot of guys that have already been signed. Talk about the decisions that you're going to have to make as far as the roster going into next year. I know you'll start evaluating that soon.
Yeah, you know, I'll get into that stuff the next week or two. I think the 2 most important things are getting a staff in place, and then also starting to work through the roster stuff. And, you know, I'll gather as much information as I can. I'll be fair and honest and communicate. And at the end of the day, though, there's NCAA rules that are way above me that you have to deal with as far as, you know, numbers, and we'll work through all of that stuff.
Greg talked about your recruiting prowess. You obviously joke with your wife, but what makes you a good recruiter in your eyes?
You know, I think you would probably have to ask the folks I've recruited to get the best answer. Again, I don't think it's a magic formula. I think you just have to work really hard, and you have to be a good listener, and you have to care. And, you know, at the end of the day, kids want to play for coaches who they think can help them develop as people and players, and people that they have a connection with. And if you really want to connect with people, you have to communicate, and you have to work at it, whether it's your marriage or coaching or whatever aspect of life. So those are the things that I always try to focus on. I really do want to get to know the kids, because this job is all about getting the right people on the front end.